Are you going to San Francisco? Make sure you wear a fucking giant condom, tie it tight over your fucking head, and put a crash helmet on. See that car? That's number 4867. That's just past the camera. There's a fucking couple of things wrong with this video. A lot wrong with it. This guy in his fast Rolls Royce is scooching down the inside. All these vehicles, all their tracks, buggies, carts, trams, cars, everything, all of their tracks seem to fit into the gauge here. That car there was pumping out smoke like it was a gas-powered car. And look at that nun running across the street there after stealing a baby. You see that? She's carrying it. Lot of dark shit going on here 3-4 days before the earthquake took place. Earthquake, my ass. Earthquake on fire. Now, the buildings, as you can see, are well weathered. The city is, as you know, 50 years old only. 1849, a few people showed up to steal the gold from all the buildings, the so-called gold rush. And then comes along 50 years later, we've got a fucking city you could put 6 million people in. There's car number 4867 again, going past. Yeah? Electric, not pumping out any shit. Now, what else is going on? Look at this baby kidnapper. That's not his daughter. That is not how you carry a baby. Look at the way he looks at the camera. Dirty bastard. A lot of shit going on here in this video. Yeah. And as I say, the buildings are weathered. The city is supposed to be only 50 years old. There's absolute chaos here on the street. North, south, doesn't matter. East, west, doesn't matter. Left, right, doesn't matter. Up, down, doesn't matter. And again, everybody's wearing black suits, black hats. There are some weird things going on. Is that plastic? Plastic hasn't been invented yet. Many people standing in the streets have turned around and stared at the camera. So they knew that there was a video taking place. And of course, the camera is pointing way down in front of the tram because there are people scooching across in front of it. That guy, I mean, you know, I tell you what, I haven't seen any crashes. Look at these guys jumping. Look at this size, this buggy. Right, there's a kid. And all these women with their big long dresses that could get caught in anything that they walk over. And here are these cars doing U-turns, coming back, coming around, to come back around again and overtake the tram again. Look at the state of this contraption here that's running across the street here and the old wheels that are on it. Every make of machine ever invented is here. And there's a bicycle, more like a modern looking bicycle. That guy, watch where you're going, hi. Oh, that fucking cop. Look at him, huh? Sick looking fucker, ain't he? Now look at here again. This guy's dragging this kid along behind him. Look, come on, come this way, come this way. And he's coming along to help him. I can't say, but there's a lot of weird shit going on here. There are people in this video, if it's real, who knew what was going to take place in 3 or 4 days' time. This is a reset population. They did not know how to drive on the left, how not to do U-turns. You get a ticket for that these days. You get shot. And you've people running across in front of trams, running across in front of cars. And you've got people staring at the camera, their bowler hats on, horses, buggies, electric cars, gas-powered cars, electric trams being pulled by horses. And of course, that guy's carrying a bag of groceries, maybe. What's in the bag, dude? Because not a lot of people, what are they all doing? Where are they going? Crossing the streets to go where? To do what? Guy selling newspapers, Not many people doing grocery shopping or carrying their groceries or anything like that. Look at that guy just ran out in front of that car. Hey, you asshole. Brembo disc brakes haven't been invented yet, and you're out running in front of fucking cars. Nobody knows what's going on here. Is that a cop? No, he looks like a postman. Telegram boy. I mean, you could not have chaos like this here in an organized city. This is chaos. This is not an organized city. Now, there is something coming up here now in a moment that I'm going to comment on. And it's just about to happen now. Look at this car coming up the wrong side of the street, right there. And as it gets here, I'm going to hold it. Now, you see this? I've watched this video about 10, 15 times. And the first time I watched it, I noticed this car. All these people in it coming up here the wrong side of the street. Now, when I was a kid, my dad used to buy lots of books and magazines from the United States of America. We loved America. And Field and Stream, hunting magazines, fishing magazines, historical books. And he had a book called The Gunfighters. And in it, I saw a photograph of Butch Cassidy and the Hole in the Wall gang sitting with their best clothes on, posing for portrait. And this is the photo that got them caught, because apparently there was a Pinkerton guy walking around San Francisco, and he walked past this is the story, walked past a photographer's studio, and he saw photographs framed in the window, and one of them was the photograph that we had in our magazine. And it was Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, News Carver, can't remember the names of the rest of the guys, but the rest of the guys from the Hole in the Wall gang, and they were all posing for a photo. The guy went in, who's these guys? Where'd the photo come from? Oh, they're staying at the hotel across the street. And apparently, this is the story, this is where they all got caught. Not buying it, but when I saw this thing coming up the street, after I saw the photo of Butch Cassidy, I said to myself, holy fuck, this is fucking Butch Cassidy and the Hole in the Wall gang. Fucking cruising around San Francisco. 4 years after they're supposed to have been dead. Well, the other story goes that they did live out their lives in San Francisco. But anyhow, we shall continue with this video here. So here they come. Hey, Butch, Sundance, on your way to a nice restaurant for lunch. You have bon appetit. Now, continuing. Look at this guy. This guy deserves a ticket for that. But then these are the rest of these guys that were around earlier on. Car number 6 and car number 4867. All cruising around to make the video look like there's more traffic on the street. Look at the way these guys are dressed, okay? A cowboy and a horse. He's probably a postman, delivery boy. So this is like the Cecil B. DeMille stuff from way, way back, where he used to get thousands of people to take part in his videos. Whether this is that or whether this is a complete fucking AI construction, I can't tell. But like, the city's about to go. It has to be destroyed because they can't explain it. Nobody in their right mind is going to believe that this city is only 50 years old. That there was nothing there in 1840, mid-1840s, and by 1848, a couple of thousand people showed up. And there's more chaotic driving, yeah. And then by 1849, there's 5,000 people, or 1850. And here we are 25 years later, or like 50 years later, even like in the photos, 25 years later, 1877, you've got that panoramic view of the entire city. It fits fucking 6 million people into it. And on top of that, if you look at Urbano Monte's 1587 world map, world planisphere, you've got San Francisco on that map from 1587. So how the fuck did they show up and build it in 1850, 1849. Do you believe this city is only 50 years old? Look at the fucking tech that we've got here. The gold rush was them coming in here and stealing all the gold that was on these buildings. It was functional. It wasn't decorative or for vanity reasons. It had got to do with the electrical grid, and it had a function. And they came in and they stole it. That was the gold rush. Now, this piece of junk here, look at the front wheel on this here. Wheel bearings haven't been invented yet either. Haven't seen anything broken down, sitting on blocks. But it's all at a much slower pace. Now look at this guy and his horse and donkey come right out in front. Oh, plastic again. Plastic wasn't invented until after World War II, hey? Maybe we're wrong. Maybe they did have plastic way back in the day. But can you imagine this street? This is Market Street. Very busy street. Ain't busy now. There is a guy called Metal Leo on YouTube. And the last few videos he put out, every shop in Market Street is closed. Every shop in San Francisco is closed. Every restaurant in San Francisco is closed. All the hotels in San Francisco were closed. All down to your Marxist, communist governor who wants to be president of the United States. Are you mad? You really seriously think the people of America, listen, do you gonna vote this cocksucker into office as president of the United States, there's 4867 again, so that he can run his Californian Marxist communist policies out right across the rest of the United States? We are not going to have a shop, a supermarket, a hotel, anywhere, except people living in tents on the streets. Native Americans, whoever they are, had a lot to do with this, the construction of this city. What happened to them? They ended up living out in fucking tents, out on the plains. Same thing today. So don't let it roll out across the rest of the US. This guy, your governor in California, has destroyed this city. He'll destroy every city in America if he becomes president. Now, it's wet there. That's probably where the toilets are, where they empty out all the piss out onto the streets, yeah. The rest of this place was dry. Now, one of my viewers from my last video that I did on New York pointed out something to me, a couple of things to me in this video, gas-powered car, boom, that I had not seen before. And I'm going to show them to you now as we get up close here. Now, I remember the date on the wall that was different than the date on the wall now. But as we get up close, there's Pinkerton guys going by looking for Butch Cassidy. As we get up close, right here, this guy pointed, one of my subscribers left a comment on my video the other day. He said, check out the two fucking alien looking nuns here. Yeah, that are freaky as fuck. Yeah. And they're probably out trying to kidnap a few kids. There must have been a lot of dark shit going on here in the 3-4 days leading up to this so-called earthquake and fire, where there was some kidnapping going on by these Jesuit sisters here. Weird as fuck. And there is a little bit... yeah. As we play it on here, let it play on. And then you end up, you've got fucking Charles Darwin standing here, right? Waiting on those two nuns to get him his dinner. 896 is the date. You go look now, it's got a 1 in front of it. 1896. And then it does a swing around, high-tech swing around. And starts heading back down the other way. I think that's about the end of the video. And then it's going to show 4 days later, San Francisco was hit by the great earthquake and fire of night. 3,000 killed, 250,000 homeless, city destroyed. Now look at it. Look at that. So, the city was hit by an earthquake and a fire, and it was destroyed. And all these people are wandering around homeless, don't know up, down, left from right. Clothes are all spick and span clean. Nobody's wearing any dirty clothes. Nobody's doing any work. This car here is still sitting in the tracks of this gauge of these tracks. So the city's hit with an earthquake. You're hit with a fire. The whole place rumbles and tumbles and shakes like hell. And the streets are still intact. And the tram tracks are still intact. They have not been disrupted. Because this is the same video as the last one. This is just the end of the video, but it's the same video as the last one, where they do the whole length of the street, and there is no damage to the roadway or to the railway tram tracks. How the fuck did that happen in an earthquake? It's, it's really bad. So, you've all seen this video. Many of you have seen this video, and maybe many of you have seen the videos that came afterwards of this video after the earthquake, driving down the same street where every building is destroyed. I'm telling you, it was targeted destruction, and they didn't target the street. They just targeted the buildings. Was the place carpet bombed from the sky? I don't know. Was it hit with lasers like in Chicago? I don't know. But let me tell you, a fire doesn't knock down a 500-year-old city like this. Does not. And earthquake? Who knows? But then sometimes when you see the pictures of the kind of half cleaned up city afterwards from the sky, there's speculation as to whether it is a model on a big table or not. Because you're going to need a huge amount of people, technology, qualified people, experienced people, in order to reconstruct a city like this. These Freemasons, were they ready? Did they have their plans all set in place? Did they have all their equipment sitting offside? Right, okay, as soon as this is done, we come back in, we rebuild the city, we take it over? I don't know. But it's weird. So that's all I can show you for now. City in destruction, kidnappers going around a few days before that, alien fucking nuns, and dates that don't match the 19th century. And as many of you know, 1,000 years have been added to our history. Somewhere in between 1582, at the commencement of the, the Gregorian calendar? Is that what we're on? Up until the 1812, in between the two, 1,000 years were added to our history, added to everything. They went around with hammers and chisels and put a 1 in front of every date on every tombstone, on every painting, on every picture. The old world was very high tech, and they destroyed it to bring in their shit tech that they were going to sell to us. This was most likely a free energy city. Had been since its construction. I heard that there were moving sidewalks also all along this city. But again, everybody in this picture is not on this earth right now. They have moved on into their next life, and they're probably 2-3 lifetimes down the road after this happened. So there isn't any witnesses to tell you what happened. But it's the same old story like the rest of America. There were hundreds and hundreds of cities destroyed. And they felt like they had to destroy them. Otherwise, they're going to have to explain them. Many buildings in many of the cities are still standing because either they were indestructible or they were too late in the timeline to tear them apart when the reset began. and it still stands, then it has to stay there and you have to come up with an excuse for it. Other than that, everything got whacked. And there we go. Imagine what a beautiful world it would have been had these parasites not existed. Because I reckon even back when this city was constructed, you had nowhere near the level of crime and debauchery that you have there today. No pink-haired people or green. Imagine you drop a couple of pink-haired, green-haired people off there. What would happen to them? They'd have fucking battered them. Anyway, watch out. Your governor is going to destroy your entire country if you vote the motherfucker in. Okay? So, that's the story. San Francisco. Take care, y'all. I'll get back to you all soon.